Good. Then let me open the way for you.
Where does this lead?
To our shared destination.
Huh?
Do you remember me telling you about my missing prologue back when we just met? But while I was inside the moon's reflection, I realized that my prologue was really hidden in the future. I just had yet to discover it at that point. The story of the time before I was born was in fact the story of my distant future. But when I obtained the Trilunar Authority and returned to our present reality, I sensed something I hadn't expected.
So you mean...
Yes, your spaceship. All this time, it has been hidden on the Frost Moon, which lay beyond the sky, the great ruler of the firmament. The heaven...
Wait, them? Why would they do that?
I don't know. Perhaps your ship contains something that is incompatible with Tevat. Or something that cannot be known. Oh, did I pick a bad time to say this? Maybe I should have waited until you were on the moon, with no chance to back out.
That would've been kinda mean, you know.
Oh?
Whatever is hiding in that ship, it belongs to me and Ether. No one else has the right to decide whether I should or shouldn't know about it. Not even the Heavenly Principles.
Very well.
You two take care, alright?
Rest assured, Paimon. We will. Thinking about the story that we'll find hidden on the moon?
Yes. And hope...
Stories like that don't exist, you know? I don't believe in endings.
Where am I?
This is the pathway I built between Tevat and the Frost Moon. The moon is very far away from us, so it could be a long journey. After I obtained the Trilunar Authority, I unwittingly saw past events from many of my friends' lives. One was Lauma. She was so young when they chose her to be the Moon Chanter. From then on, the Frost Moon Scions looked to her to bring messages from their goddess. But, for better or worse, I had left Hisi Island before she was ever born. It was not until much, much later that she met me.
I think it's for the best. Because of the way things turned out, you had the opportunity to become friends.
You're right. In that sense, I think we were both very lucky. Oh, and about that mage, Nicole. I only recently learned that she has lived in Tevat since the time of the Three Moon Sisters. The Moon Goddesses always had a good relationship with the angels. I suppose our friendship continues that tradition. And then, there's Sandrone. I never knew that much about her, beyond the fact that she was created by someone called the Lord Artificer. She, too, suffered for a long time before joining the Fatui. How I wish I could talk to her again, even if only to hear her say nasty things to me. Also, I saw your sibling's story. I'm afraid I didn't see much. It seems that he rarely came to the surface, where the moonlight shines. But I did notice that back when you first set out on your journey, he would often appear nearby, gazing at you from afar with a guilty look in his eyes.
Ether...
Let us speak no more of the past. I probably shouldn't reveal so much about my friends. It's not my place. Let the moonlight carry us forth. We are very close now. After this, I'd like to bring some kuhenki to the moon as well. If they're willing, of course.
What about your other friends? Will you bring them to visit too?
Certainly. But I'll need to tidy the place up first. This home hasn't received any guests in a long, long time. I remember writing something similar with you on Moon Prayer Night. I believe it was called...
Dodoko's whirligig.
Yes, that was it. You asked me if I was afraid to return to the moon, and I said that I was. The idea that I had gained something precious, only to lose it so quickly. That frightened me. But I'm not afraid anymore. Besides, this time, we're traveling together. We're here. Over there.
Our spaceship.
It's huge. I suppose that the moon is the only place one could hide it. It'll be all right.
Huh?
The way you feel in this moment, I went through it too, on Moon Prayer Night. Solitude for me once meant living a life, but that night...
Columbina.
Go. Retrieve the part of your life that was once lost. Trust me, you will lose nothing by doing so. Look, Tavad is right there. All of our friends...
You're right. Thanks, Colin.
Finished?
Yeah. Why did you take your eye mask off?
Well, since my return. Besides, I've always wondered how Tevat looks from the moon.
And what do you think?
It's beautiful. I could spend a whole day here just... What about you? What do you think of the truth you found? I haven't looked at another person's expression in a long time, but... I think yours is saying...
Keep this up, and it won't be long before you give Nefer a run for her money.
Oh, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm much more used to sensing what's going on around me with Kuvaki.
I read the spaceship's flight logs. I always assumed that this was my first time in Tevat. I thought that Ether and I must have been hibernating in space for centuries on end. But the logs show that our spaceship flew over the skies of Tevat once before. A long, long time ago.
Flew over? So you didn't land?
No. The ship barely came to a stop before flying on again. After that, it continued traveling through space for a long time. Some of the data is corrupted, but I suspect that it kept flying for thousands of years. It was only after that that the ship made a forced landing in Nodcry. When Ether found me, he came from outside. Could this mean that he left the ship long before I did? Maybe even during our first pass over Tevat?
Are you alright?
Yes. I can feel that the truth is coming together. I remember Ether telling me that when he first arrived in Conria, he could not recall the past. So this might be something that even he doesn't know.
Here, I made some space for you. Your mind must...
Oh, wait.
What is it?
Wait here a moment. Hey, Columbina.
Is that a new...
An old one, technically. It's been in a cabinet inside the ship this whole time. It's a matching pair with Ether's. He's always liked this set more.
Huh. I don't think there's a huge... Yes, it's still the same you.
Only call him
Traveler, do you consider
home is wherever Ether is. But then, yes, I'd say it's my...
Would you change your answer if Tevat changed appearance? I mean, if the truth about Tevat turned out to be different than what you thought.
I don't know. The truth is not what matters most to me about Tevat.
When I was first born, I longed for a home. And when you get something before you're mature enough to understand the world, I thought that a home was a transaction. You give me what I want, and I'll do the same for you. But you and your friends taught me what a true home should look like. You never asked for anything, yet you gave so generously to me.
That's because your friendship matters to us. It was worth it.
In the past. But after journeying to the distant past where the story began, I realized that it was I who chose not. Now, I am glad that I made that choice.
I'm sure your friends are just as glad.
In fact, I intend to make the same choice today as I did back then.
What do you mean?
Well, I've given the Eternal Moon's Marrow to Lauma, and the Iridescent Moon's Marrow to Arlecchino. And now, I shall return my Kuvagi to Nodcry again, that it may continue to protect my chosen home.
Wait, but what about...
I won't. Not this time. The frost moon has now entered the fall sky. I am only returning to Nodcry the part of me that it needs. I am giving what... Oh,
For me?
yes. Come closer.
What was that?
I lifted some of the restrictions this world placed on you. I trust this will help in your future adventures.
My power. It feels like it's grown. I can use the elements more freely now. Thank you. This will be...
You're welcome. I see you as family, and after everything you've done for me, Here. This flower is for you.
Isn't this a moon prayer blossom?
Yes. Don't worry. You will never see these flowers lose their color again. I'm finally discovering the joy of giving.
Hey, better late than never. What are you thinking about now?
Why don't you take a guess? You get...
I don't think I'll get it in one guess. But I'm sure it's a happy...
That's kind of a sneaky answer. Down into that. The moon seems so far away. I felt it might always lie, but on the moon, everything... The haze that once enshrouded the skies has finally been dispersed. I feel like a traveler on a winter's night. I don't have a lot of luggage, but I do have a lot of hope for the future.
Well,
Next, to start with, I want to stay here just a little longer. After that, let's return home.
these clothes bring back so many memories.
The journey goes on. Like I said, this is not the end. I don't believe there has to be an ending. Oh, is that your next Most people would probably tell you to pack some warm clothes. But I experienced things... In fact, it is home to quite a wondrous heat source. I think they call it I sensed the energy it gave off as I was passing by on a railway train. I also recommend the Korolievsky troupe in Snezhnograd. They give performances quite regularly, and entry was free for Harbinger. Ice cold and sharp. Crystal clear. That's just the impression that Tsaritsa gives me. I was never able to glimpse. In fact, I don't think the people of Snezhnaya... Maybe that's because the Tsaritsa herself has never acknowledged nor accepted that power. There's regret between them. They control a lot of what happens in Snezhnaya, but I can never wrap my head around how exactly power is split between them. I just know they are each... I noticed that the Rooster and Regrator often appear to get along on the surface, while working against each other in secret. And theirs is not a friendly rivalry. But I wasn't particularly interested, so I tended to keep my distance. Now that I think about it, once things settle down in Nodcry, I'd like to You've told me so many stories about the other places you've been to. It would also help me learn more about the journey that has made you into the person you are today. Okay. It shall cast down its true moonlight.
To Jean, acting Grand Master. Ugh, this preamble is such a pain to write. It's probably high time we got rid of this acting business. I trust that Dern has updated you all on recent events. Hope we didn't worry you. The good news is, we managed to come together and put a stop to the Doctor's evil schemes. With that, as for the Fatui, not counting the Damselette, aka the Moon Goddess, who has left their organization, we found ourselves allied in this instance with both the Knave and Marionette. May she rest in peace. As ever, we find ourselves better off for making friends rather than enemies. But until we can ascertain the Tsaritsa's true intentions, in a short while... Wait. How am I meant to surprise everyone if I tell them in the letter that I'm heading home? Okay, I will begin sending the expeditionary team back home in waves. I'm sure they'll... I hope they won't gloss over the details of my many heroic deeds. But if they do, I'm sure it'll be I think of Mondstadt daily. Please give everyone my best regard. P.S. The honorary knight went above and beyond this time. Are there any other honors we can give her? I'll leave it with you. P.P.S. Please be extra nice to Klee for the foreseeable future. I cashed in on the last favor that the Hexen Circle owed us, so we need to earn some more goodwill. If there's any serious problems, feel free to stick me in solitary confinement when I... Whew. And that, as they say, is all. And with the moon shining down brighter than ever, I think everyone is gonna sleep well.